Hello again, YouTube. If you saw the last video, we covered my laboratory with my giant auto brewing stand, semi-auto brewing stand. Yeah, so, but, if you didn't check out that video, go check that out. But now we're going to move on to the library, and this is going to be a lot simpler because it's just a library. Well, sort of. Right here we have the enchanting table. Some people have come into my world and were like, how do I make carpet, because the carpet affects the enchanting. It blocks the books from getting to it, and really how I did it is these are just wool blocks. So yeah, simple fix. Got a little box for things that are in my queue to be enchanted, stuff that I've checked the enchantment and said, okay, the next enchantments are going to be pretty good. So yeah, all the other ingredients for making books and other enchanting things, pretty simple. And there's a second floor, we'll get to that in a second. But otherwise it's just a giant library. Or is it? Because you'll come in here and you might see this little item frame with a book in it and say, okay, well, that's weird, but makes sense in here. It's a library and there's a book. But you'll also go, hey, I happen to know that is crooked. So you'll want to go and twist it, and when you twist it, you might notice, oh, look at that. This is one of the first crazy things I added to the castle was, I said to myself, how perfect would it be that you pull the one book and it opens up a secret passage in the bookshelf, so I had to do it myself. So there you go. The way that works, I'll show a link in the description about how you make item frames. A power source, it's something I use a lot in my castle because it's one of my favorites for hidden switches and everything like that, because it's I never liked the look of switches. I always thought they were an eyesore, so I always want to find creative ways to activate things in my castle. So yeah, if we just go ahead and peek down here, and this switch is so, like, if I'm playing with somebody else, I can hide real quick, but really it's the only downside to that is if they lock the door on that side, this switch doesn't do anything. So yeah, I'm kind of stuck down here if somebody was to go and turn the book on me. You can see a little of the underworkings of the auto brewing stand from the last video, but we're gonna go down here, and this is my dungeon. Now, I did another video on this. It wasn't a very good quality video, but I'm just going to give you a basic rundown real quick. The way this works is you make the rooms darker than the center of the room, and that means most of the mobs will spawn inside the cells. So you come down here. This is mostly a novelty thing, or it used to be until this whole thing happened, but we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, you'll come down here every now and then, and a mob will have spawned in the dark cell. So you'll come down here and you'll have an Enderman or a creeper or a zombie in the cell, and it just looks funny. Now, I know you can add a name tag and then keep the mob as your prisoner, but when I come down here and there's a creeper in here, I really don't want him to stick around. They won't blow up through the fence. They won't blow up when they activate through the fence, but I just simply don't want to risk it. So it's mostly just to be funny. You come down and you see somebody trapped in your cell, and you kind of laugh like somebody's been captured. We got the dog and cat over here, Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, I don't know how many people will get that joke anymore. I feel like that's pretty old these days. Anyways, there's another set of rooms back here that have a switch, so I can trap things if I need to for whatever reason. Never used it, never needed it. It's just there in case. And over here we have what is essentially my villager farm. Now, the way this whole story happened is I came down here with my dark rooms, and there were some zombie villagers trapped inside this cell. So I decided to cure them. It was actually one and then another one in this cell, so then I linked the cells later once I cured them. But once I cured them, I rigged up this little system here that has a hoppers from from this chest. You put items like bread in there, it feeds down, and every time they step on this plate, it throws them a piece of bread. It was kind of a funny feeding system joke, but what it ended up doing was it actually ended up encouraging them to breed. And that is why I have villagers all over my house, which is very fascinating because I've learned a lot about villagers living with them. For instance, if you do it this method, I'm not sure what happened, but villagers give me experience when they sell me stuff. I'm not sure why, but for some reason, the villagers in my castle give me experience every time I buy stuff or sell stuff from them. So they're actually a really good way to level up when you do it this way. I don't know if it's because I cured the zombies or what, but yeah, they apparently give you experience, which is very strange. Anyways, and this little space down here is because the baby villagers, when they're born, can run out and escape and get back into the rest of the castle, and I really only need 2 down here at a time, and I generally try to save the 2 down here that I want the most. Like, for instance, this guy gives me a book of Respiration 3. Well, that's kind of convenient. I like to go down into the water temples, so I like to keep him around so I can get that enchantment easily. Another one is a farmer, and that's because farmers give you the most emeralds because crops are easy. So yeah, and that third guy's just kind of stuck there, but I don't want to let him out because I don't know who he is yet. But yeah, generally the doors so I can go and access them and everything like that, and they have little doors there, so that makes them happy. They like to open and close doors. So yeah, but mostly that's a cosmetic room. Not a lot of use to it. Just something funny. And I forgot the disclaimer on this, that everything in this castle, because I did it in my last video, but I should do it in every video. Everything in this castle was made in survival mode on normal difficulty. Sometimes I will turn to easy difficulty, but really mostly normal difficulty. So nothing was made in creative mode. So yeah, that was part of the challenge. I build the castle with its floor plan, and then I figure out how to make everything fit inside of it. And as you can see here, sometimes that making stuff fit doesn't really work out, because I personally think this looks terrible, but you know, that was the rule I put in place, so I either have to redesign other rooms or just learn to live with it. But yeah, so I just filled it up with bookshelves. Yeah, and over here we have the map wall, which, as you can see, is not done. But that's a good thing. You know, there's still areas that are to be explored. I like that. I like the idea of, like, keep building this up, and yet there's still places I haven't seen yet. Still stuff I haven't mined yet. So yeah, there's you know, this is going to be a work in progress. Most of these corners up here I filled in by just walking around with a map. And going home, I didn't mine anything. In fact, most of the mining I've done in this game is only in the center map. So, yeah. So really, I've got a lot of world still to explore. And yet I've built this entire castle from just what's around me. So, yeah. That's pretty much the gist of the library. Pretty simple. The only fun part about it is the secret dungeon. But other than that, pretty basic enchanting room, just a lot bigger than you probably are used to. So yeah, we'll move on to the armory in the next video. Thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again. Bye.